pity will is it not our people to bring so much shame upon
Destiny awaits.
A couple of weeks before we left for Edinburgh, shortly around the time of the preview performances in Wales, Phil called me up and said, have you heard of a film director by the name of Chris Crowe? Which, if I'm honest, I hadn't. But I immediately Googled his work and watched a few of his films, in particular The Lighthouse from 2016, which I think he won a Welsh BAFTA for. Loved it, loved the visual style of his work and his passion for storytelling as well. A completely different medium to what I was used to with theatre, of course, though. So yeah, Phil said to me that this guy, Chris Crowe, had started following us on social media, on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook.
Yeah, so I was then lucky enough to be asked again to play Richard in the pilot for a screenplay, Iniquity. Yeah, again, couldn't believe my luck that I was getting this opportunity again. So we went over to Bay Studios, where we met Chris Crowe and his team over there. And just what an absolutely incredible experience. Like we walked in, the studios didn't have any electricity, it was dank, it was dirty. Perfect setting really for a jail, you know. I think Stu actually slept there the night before because he was concerned that the generator was going to go missing. But no, he's, yeah, so just take after take, and then see that polished, that final result. It just makes it all worthwhile. All the fights, all the tears, all the drama, all the, you know, the laughters, the joys, the celebrations, it all rolls up and gets packaged into this polished, crisp, cinematic piece of brilliance from Chris Crowe.
I will always feel fortunate to be involved in this project. It's a project that has given me so much joy and is continuing to do so. My sort of final thought on it is that one day I hope to be sat in the cinema watching Iniquity on the screen and seeing some famous actor playing Joseph Tregellis-Price, and to be able to say that he's doing a fantastic job, but you know, that was my role first, and that was my role throughout the stage productions, and so I've handed the baton on then to some fantastic actor to play him on the screen, because I have no doubt that one day I'll be able to do that.
We've since started working on a full feature-length screenplay version. We've filmed a short promo teaser at Bay Studios and down the Gower, which we will then hopefully be taking to potential investors, production companies, towards the early part of 2024, to have Iniquity, the film, made. The opportunity really to take Dick Penderyn's story to a global audience in a completely new and fascinating genre and format is the stuff of dreams.
Long live Dick Penderyn! Long live Dick Penderyn! Long live Dick Penderyn!
When I get passionate about things, I will get a tattoo. So one thing I was passionate about was Dick Penderyn's last words of "Wag Lloyd dyma Camwedd."
I've never been more proud to be Welsh. It was a very, very powerful moment, and something that I reiterated to my friend Stuart, the director, having said that other than the birth of my child, it was the proudest moment of my life, and I will stand by that for the rest of my days.
The core of Iniquity is super strong. It is like a brotherhood, like a family, like a like an exclusive club, and I know every single person has got every single person's backs. They only want good for people. Everybody just wants good for people, and Stu, I think, epitomises the drive behind it. I've never met a more determined man in my life. I've never met a crazier man in my life either. But his determination, if somebody else told me some of the things Stu told me, I'd laugh at him. I'd say, absolutely not. But Stu could tell me tomorrow, right, I'm going to change the sky colour by next week. I'd go, he might just do it. He might just do it.
It was just an unbelievably welcoming group, and to be a part of that family was incredible. And yeah.
Father, I like to be part of things, so just to be part of that. There's a stage play with my father, dedicated to my father, would have been just, you know, unreal for him, I think. I can see him smiling up there now, you know.
To sum up Iniquity Camwedd, I'd say it was inspiring and unforgettable.
I suppose part of the reason why this was so special to me is because I teach it. I teach it to youngsters in school. I've taught the Merthyr Uprising for the last 20 years. And so to be able to immerse myself in this play and to use that with the children in school, because thankfully Stuart said that I could use some sections from it. And ever since then, every year I've built it into my scheme of work that we perform parts of the show, and the kids love it. It brings the story to life, and that's what I tried to do. I tried to bring history alive, and there's nothing that I've been part of more that has brought history alive than Iniquity Camwedd.
And Stuart, I think, built on that. He brought it together in a project which is a meaningful one to people in this area. He brought the community back together in much the same way that Behold the Man did and that Michael Sheen did in The Gospel of Us. He built on the community spirit that we have in Port Talbot, that if you have a strong enough vehicle, people will want to get on it and to support it and be a part of it.
But of course, through my time of my years on this earth, I've known that there were brilliant people who had gone into the film industry and stage, and I thought there's something about Port Talbot. What is it? And we have to find out about it. What is it? And I still don't know what it is.
The highlight of 2021, so the world premiere, was after the opening performance, the gala performance. After the curtain call, we stood on stage, and I think the curtain call is a really important part of any production, because it's your opportunity to thank the audience. It comes from Greek theatre, the forefathers of all storytelling, where you're thanking the audience for joining you on that journey. After we gave the bows, to have the opportunity to thank people like Myrick Sheen, people like my drama teacher, Ken Tucker, everybody who'd worked on the production, and as well the widow of Stefan, was a particularly poignant moment for me. So that in chapter 1, I think, was the highlight of that part of the journey. Chapter 2, there were certainly more ups and downs in chapter 2, some very, very lows, some very, very low lows, but some, again, exceptional highs. Working with my wife we've worked before as actor and actress, but never as director and actress, which set its own challenges, you know, sometimes finding the right balance in that relationship of outside of the rehearsal room, I'm your husband and she's my wife. Inside the rehearsal room, you're my leading actress, and I'm your director. But I say, yeah, the pinnacle for chapter 2 has to be the Fringe. To be a part of something like Iniquity Camwedd at that stage, that venue, that platform, to take a story like Richard Lewis's story to the Edinburgh Fringe was a bucket list moment. It's something that will stay with me for the rest of my days. And chapter 3, the highlight of chapter 3, which is an ongoing journey. We're still working on as I'm sitting here speaking to you now, we're still working on the screenplay, the feature-length screenplay. We've dropped Camwedd from the title, felt that it muddied the waters a little. So it's just going to be Iniquity, the movie. To date, the highlight on that part for me is in 2021, my daughter Beatrice was born, and I don't know what Beatrice is going to do, but she comes from, in my opinion, some pretty good stock. So if you wanted to follow that journey of the performing arts like her mother and I have done, then it wouldn't be the greatest surprise. And Beatrice to play Baby Mary in the short promo was a highlight for me, making her screen debut.
If I had to sum up Iniquity Camwedd in one word, I think I would use the word proud.
Intense, memorable and worthwhile.
The play was a great opportunity to be part of a community that feels so strongly about a wrong that is part of history.
This project has reminded me how really important it is to take on challenges and be a role model for my children.
For me, if I had to sum up the Iniquity Camwedd project in a word or a sentence, I would say that for me the project was unique.
To sum my experience up on Iniquity Camwedd in one sentence would be one of the greatest things I've ever achieved in my life.
I don't need a sentence, I got 2 words: life-changing.
It was a passion of love for the arts, creativity. It was just a raw passion from everyone, every single being that was involved, all the cast, all the crew. It was just passion.
That kind of changed my life in a way. Never been part of anything so. It was almost religious in a way, and I'm not a religious person, but to trek through Edinburgh every morning on the way to tell this story was words can't describe what that meant to me.
People, remember your roots, remember your history. It's part of who you are. And whether it's right or wrong, embrace your imperfections. That is one of the lessons from the play.
I'd say above all else, I'm grateful. I'm grateful that Stu took the chance on me to play such a lovely character and be a part of such an amazingly important play.
I don't think that I could sum up Iniquity Camwedd in a word. I think for me it would be a short sentence, and I think for me it's a pretty easy sentence to think about. For me it's crucial watch history.
Right. I've been asked to sum it up in one word. I'm trying to think of a word that may not have been used previously. And the word I'm going to use is transformative. And transformative for a number of reasons. You just wanted me to say transformative, didn't you?
If I could sum up Iniquity Camwedd in a sentence, it would be that no matter where you come from, how small a town or a village that you live in, your actions can spread out throughout the world and help many other people.
If I could sum this experience up in 2 words, I'd say beautiful exhaustion.
I think the whole experience was second to none. I could never have imagined myself doing anything like this at one time. I think it's rounded off my acting career because I hadn't really done anything for 4 to 5 years before this came along, and I thought, oh, I'm done now. But this came and I thought, yeah, that was good.
What we're doing is remembering Richard Lewis and remembering justice and truth and fairness and standing against stupidity and injustice.